Good morning, everybody. I'd like to start this off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remove your hats, hands over your hearts. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And just a quick moment of silence. Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming. Initially, I did not think we would be doing this ceremony during the pandemic, but as restrictions are being eased, I think we can pull it off while being outside. I first met John Cody when he was hired by the Norwood Fire Department back in 2005. He seemed like a good kid who was eager to learn and become a good firefighter. I didn't really get to know him until we were both assigned to Group 3. There we worked together for years under the best captain in the department and the most common sense, wry sense of humor lieutenant. You guys hear me? Come on up closer so you can hear me. I want you guys to be... John was doing ambulance duty as well as firefighting on Group 3 when he realized the basic formula of look like a professional and be nice to people. It was as simple as that. After a while, John hit his first fire in Windsor Gardens during a snowstorm. The townhouse we responded to was heavily involved with fire, and John and I were together on the first line in. With a 2-inch hand line, we attacked the fire, but it seemed like every time we knocked a section of fire down and moved to the next section, the original would flare up again. It was challenging, and for it being his first fire, it took real guts to be inside, fighting it. Eventually, we got the fire knocked down with some help. I'm pretty sure John went through 3 SCBA air bottles during that fire. But after that night, I knew John was going to be a good firefighter. But just being a good firefighter wasn't enough for him. He has probably taken more classes than anyone I know. He has all kinds of certifications and accreditations. He has never asked for a dime from the department to do it. He did it because he wanted to be the best at his job. And with that laser focus and drive, John became a fire investigator and then earned the privilege of becoming a fire officer. Firefighter Cody was promoted to lieutenant in July of 2018. After the promotion, Lieutenant Cody was assigned to the fire prevention office. With barely any assistance, John was able to master the position through hard work and dedication. I'm sure a lot of Lieutenant Cody's ability to thrive as the fire prevention officer is a direct result of his training as a United States Marine. Many people across the town have come to know John in his role as the fire prevention officer. But when the town was hit with the coronavirus pandemic, that was when Lieutenant Cody really shined. I can personally tell you it was Lieutenant Cody that helped many nursing homes get through their darkest days. When nurses were literally making face masks out of vacuum cleaner filters, it was Lieutenant Cody who got them enough N95 masks to get by. People literally were in tears when John was able to deliver hand sanitizer or gowns to work facilities that needed it. Not only that, but Lieutenant Cody was emotional support for the many nurses and nursing home directors who were going through cluster COVID events at their facilities. Just a, we're with you, we are going to help was enough. I think it was John who kept the Norwood ER staff supplied with the majority of their face shields. And none of this equipment was coming from the fire department's supply of PPE. It was all from donations he coordinated with local businesses. When I made the decision to break the fire department into satellite stations, it was Lieutenant Cody who had completely set up the logistics of the move. John is a go-getter and someone who will get the job done. And that's why we are here today. John approached the Deputy Chief's exam and assessment board with the same dedication and level of commitment he puts into everything he does. All who have worked with him appreciate the professionalism he brings to the Norwood Fire Department. John is going to be an excellent deputy chief, and he will be a huge part in bringing Norwood Fire into the future. I could go on and on about all of the accomplishments of Lieutenant Cody, aka Captain America, a name given to him from his academy classmates. But I think the one accomplishment that means the most to him is his family. I never held it against John that he was from Hyde Park because he redeemed himself by marrying a Norwood girl. I know how lucky he is to have Kirsten as his wife and have two really great kids in Johnny Flo and Amelia, that's trash, Cody. John is a great family man, and I know they mean the world to him. So with that, I'd like to have Kirsten and the kids come up and pin the well-earned Deputy Chief's badge on John.
Thank you, Chief. No, it's okay.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Deputy Chief John Cody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Microphone's yours, Deputy.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll make it sweet. I know everyone loves the mask, but first I'd like to say thank you to the Board of Selectmen, who's always supported us. Mr. Mizuko, for taking the Chief's idea and supporting it. I would not be here, and thank you for hiring me. Chief, to have the vision to want a training officer. To Group 3, to all the firefighters, we've worked as a team. I'm here because of all the things you did. We have a lot of fun. We have a long way to go. We know how good we are. There's a saying in the fire service, when you're in a good fire, you get that push. We're gonna make it a shove. We're gonna look good doing it. Absolutely, we're gonna work together. Everything we want, we're gonna earn. Last but not least, my family. I love you. Thank you. I'm so proud of you guys. There's no way I would be here without you. I give you my best. I promise I'll continue to work hard. Everything we do will be number one in. It's okay if we fail. It's just never gonna be okay if we quit. And I promise the town and everyone here, we are not gonna quit. Thank you so much for everything.
I'd like to introduce the Chairman of the Board of Selectmen, Paul Bishop. If you could say some words, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you all for being here this morning, too. The very first time I met John and was introduced to John, he had a commanding presence. That's the only way I could describe it. He knew what his agenda was, and he was going to move forward with that agenda. He is the epitome of professionalism, of fatherhood, husbandry, if there is such a thing as husbandry, as a firefighter, as a Marine, and as a human being. Today we are here to see and to witness the future of the Norwood Fire Department. And I could not be prouder than to call John my friend. And he truly is. And I look forward to many, many years of service. And I look to John to take this fire department in a new direction in the future. And best of luck to him and his family. And I thank you again, John.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And I'd like to have Town Manager Tony Mizuko come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Chief. Chief. Good morning, everyone. I'll keep it brief. Of course, I say that and then I'm not going to keep it brief, but I remember the first time I met John Cody a couple years ago. Chief Greeley had come into my office and said, I've got this great young officer, or he's going to be an officer, and I think you should meet him, and I think he's fantastic, and he's going to make a big impact on the department. And I said, yeah, bring him in, I'll meet with him. And I first met then just Officer Cody before he was a lieutenant, and I thought, well, he seems all right, but I'll go with what Chief Greeley's recommendation is. And we promoted him to lieutenant, and we've been thoroughly impressed ever since. I don't interact with a fire prevention officer too often on a daily basis, but in the last couple of months, I can tell you, as the town has battled this pandemic, John has been there every day. He has shared PPE with agencies around the area. We've provided equipment, support, and service to nursing homes, to the hospital, to the VA. That was all the town of Norwood. Throughout this whole crisis, we've punched way above our weight class, and a huge portion of that goes to what John's been able to do. He represents the future of the department, and he also represents a period of investment in the fire department. Last year, we added a large amount of money to the training budget. We added a second chief officer position, a second deputy chief officer position, and we're going to continue those investments in the fire department, and we know that they'll be well managed and well taken care of with John at the helm, along with Chief Maurice and Deputy Chief Hayes. So, John, congratulations to you, to your family, and welcome aboard.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you to all of you for everything you do for us every day and have been doing for us through this pandemic. This has been an incredibly difficult time for the entire community, and we know that Norwood Fire has been there throughout it all. So thank you to all of you. Thank you.
And with that, the ceremony is over. Thank you very much for your attendance. I appreciate it, and I'm sure Deputy Chief Cody does also. So thank you very much.
Thank you.